Kia ora everyone, how are you? It's Om here from Craft Lab NZ and welcome back to the barn. So today we're going to do some awesome weaving today and we're going to learn to make an amazing hacky ball for our poro. So in one of our other tutorials we've made quite a tricky one, but today all you need is 2 leaves and we're going to show you how to make a really awesome ball. This is a fantastic ball that you can use as a hacky sack. I've played games of soccer with it before, so it's a really awesome ball that you can quite quickly make. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a fishtail plait. So the fishtail plait is a plait that is quite well known, maybe to a lot of girls. It's a way that you can actually plait your hair around. So today we're going to use that same style plait to make a really awesome ball. So again today, with weaving with harakeke or that harvesting process, making sure that we find out what the tikanga is behind that, and it's really important that you make sure that the harvesting process is done in a way that we follow the protocol. So what we're going to do today is we've got 2 harakeke leaves, and all we're going to do is we're going to trim these down. We could make this ball pretty big, and I definitely suggest as beginners we probably want to have quite wide pieces of flax, and they need to be pretty good quality as well. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to trim one of these pieces of harakeke down. I'm going to fold it in half like so. I'm going to remove this mid-rib here, so with my fingernail give it a bit of a pinch. Remove this piece here and we'll give this piece back to the plant, and then again with this one here just sizing it up, giving it a little pinch. Again, really important whenever we're sizing up this flax or this harakeke here, that we try and do all our sizing from round about the middle of this flax, and then it means that you can try and keep that shape pretty true. Otherwise sometimes if you do it too high or too low, by the time you get to the top or bottom the shapes really change quite a bit. So we've got one here that's looking great, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to use that piece now as a guide so I get this other piece the same width. So we'll get into that and we'll show you the next step. Alrighty, so now I've got both pieces the same size. To make this process a little bit easier is on both of those ends, I'm actually going to snip them off. So it actually doesn't matter for this project that we've got the ends that are quite fleshy. But for now I'm going to leave it together, but I'm going to give it quite a nice little sharp snip. And at that point there, I'm going to split that piece in half. So I've got 2 pieces. I'm going to sit them both on top of each other and I'm going to put them all the way to the top like so. And right up the top there, I'm going to line both of those tips up like so. Right up here, I'm just going to tie a basic little overhand knot. So I'm going to spin it around and then put that tail just through here. I'm going to pull that nice and tight. So you can
see now this piece is joined up the top with a little knot and these 2 pieces are together. I'm going to do the same to my other piece here. So I'm going to get my scissors, I'm going to give this a nice snip, and again I'm going to split it apart and I'm going to put both of those tips together and I'm going to tie a very tight knot. Just like so.
Okay, so the next step now is we're going to do a little over-under plait. So I've got one piece here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay both of these pieces just like so. The very top piece here is going to just get brung a little bit down towards me just like that. So I've brung that apart, scissored apart just like that. With my other piece here, I'm going to make sure that I've got both pieces sitting on top of each other nice and flat just like so. And again I'm going to bring that apart like so, and then when this gets fed into this piece here, the piece closest to me here is going to come under and over. And then this piece here is going to go over and under. So we've got an opposite. First piece is going under and over, and the second piece is going over and under. And I'm going to pull both of these really nice and tight, just like so, so they're sitting just like this. So I've got this beautiful little pattern just like this here. And I've brung it all the way down to both of those knots. So the next step is I'm actually going to stand up and make this, because it's a lot easier if both of these pieces are dangling off the ground. So now that we've got those pieces joined together, I'm going to show you this really awesome little plait. And what's going to happen is this little plait here, we're going to do the whole way through until we run out. So what's going to happen is you'll notice I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces like so, just in my hands here. what's going to happen is the first piece here is going to come under the second piece. So I've got 1, 2, 3 pieces out towards the right hand side. And all I'm going to do is that final piece there is going to come over the middle, and it's going to come under that first piece. So it's going to come over the middle, under the first piece like so. And now if I give that a little bit of a pull, I'm back to where I started. 2 pieces out to the left, 2 pieces out to the right. So again, that very same pattern, the first piece is just going to come under the second. So I've got all 3 pieces hanging out the right. And then that last piece there is going to come over the top, and it's going to come under. So that's 2 sides of my ball made. The next one here, same pattern. First comes under the second, like so. And then the last piece is going to come over the middle and under that first piece, just like that. And each time before I go again, I reset by giving it a little pull. So that's step number 1. So we're doing really, really well here. So some tips are, once I've done that little pattern 3 times, what I'll notice is I've started to make this really awesome, it's the beginning of a little ball. Now as I start to do my 4th and 5th piece, I really need to make sure that I've got this all the stuff that I've made, and I'm going to try and keep it, and I'm going to try and push it inside so that as I'm building this, I'm wrapping it around this. So again, that same pattern here, the first comes under the second, like so, and then the very last piece comes over the middle and then under, and to reset, pulling it nice and tight.
So I'm just going to keep doing that pattern the whole way through, and then we'll show you what we've got at the end. Woo! This is going great! Now you'll find that the more you get used to this pattern, the easier you'll be able to build it. And eventually it'll happen really, really quick. Going really well. Building my fantastic ball. Okay.
We're going to stop there now. So I probably could go a little bit more, but I'm just going to stop because I really like the look of this ball. Now this next step might get a little bit tricky, but it's definitely just trying to observe where do these pieces want to go. So what I started my pattern with is this first piece always went under. So if I start with that first piece, all I'm going to do is I'm going to look where that wants to go. So that first piece wants to come along here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to get the very end of that little leaf, and I'm just going to slide it actually underneath that little piece, just like so, and I'm going to gently try and push it through, and you'll see it come out the end. And now if I pull that, that is actually locked that piece off. So I've done the first piece. Now I'm going to carry on and I've only got 3 more pieces left here to weave under. So I'm with my second piece, I'm going to
have a look, where does it want to go? And I'm like, yeah, it wants to go under there. So I'm going to slide that under there, just like so. So now 2 pieces are locked off, and I'm just going to continue with my 3rd and 4th piece. 3rd piece, having a look where it wants to go, and then finding somewhere to slide it under. That's my 3rd piece, and then finishing with my 4th piece here, just like so.
Once I've got all of those 4 pieces slid and hiding under another piece, all I'm going to do now is I'm going to get each of these pieces and I'm going to give them a little bit of a pull. So this piece, a little bit of a pull, this piece, a little bit of a pull. So I'm just going to go through and give these a nice little bit of tension. Now the real trick to making these amazing balls look like where did they start and where did they finish is when it comes time to snipping this off like so, we want to snip it really, really close to that edge there. So I'm going to snip this off really, really close like so. Same with this one. Same with this one. Excellent. Snip this off. So any little pieces that are hanging out, I'm going to give a bit of a trim. So something that we can choose before we snip off that very last piece here. If I wanted to, I've made some really beautiful little mobiles for above my little kitty's bed when they were young. So what you can do is, instead of snipping this whole thing off, I can actually peel a little bit of this harakiki off, and I can save a little piece there like so, and then I can snip off the rest. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to peel off a little bit of this harakiki here like so. So I've got that little piece peeled off, so I'm actually going to save that and not snip it. And then with this here, I'm going to come through and I'm going to snip it. So now what I've made here is I've got an awesome little ball that's attached to a string. And these are just absolutely gorgeous. Have a look at that. So we've got this beautiful little pattern that's woven, and it's been woven over and over within itself. So they're really, really strong. So one option is definitely to leave that little string on it. Or if you don't want to, if you just want to snip it and actually have yourself a ball that you can play and throw and kick, then you've got this awesome little flax ball that you've made. Now it definitely does take a little bit of practice, but look at that. Isn't that just absolutely beautiful? And again, you can make this small or you can make it really, really big. So that is how to make an awesome flax ball by using just 2 pieces of hacky. So from Om at Craftly NZ, good luck, stay safe,